All right, so now that we've covered the foot, ankle, now we're working our way up into the shins and the calves. So as I mentioned, I have an ankle sprain, but you know, if you're a runner and you had no injuries, still, needless to say, the shins have a lot of tension buildup. So again, you could use this little pokey thing where, like, basically what you want to feel for is this band right in front. Okay, it's like a little bit of like a ropey kind of feel. If you're not sure, what you can do is you can kind of flex your foot and you'll see it kind of pop up. Okay, that's how you know you're on the spot. So again, I sometimes use my hands. I'll use this little thing here. And when I really, really want to get in, I'm going to show you a really, really great way to roll into that. But anyway, I'm just going to kind of warm you up with this one, okay? So you're going to come up this line. Now, there's also, again, multiple lines, right, that come up through because, of course, we've got all these muscles coming that interweave. So you're just going to, again, walk up this little tool, up your calf. And again, if you're not sure, just kind of flex your foot and feel. And I promise you, you'll feel something there. And if you don't, then you're just not on the right spot. So again, once you sink in, I like to kind of do these like cross fiber type of motions to really separate those muscles. Okay, so once you get up here, I like to come basically as close to the bone as possible because that's where everything inserts or originates, okay? Then here, the side of the shins, this is an important area because, again, when you have an ankle sprain, this area, it experiences a lot of stress. So because the ligaments are not as stable, so there's more tension buildup. So again, you're going to do the same thing as I showed you earlier when you walk up, right? Again, I'm going through really quickly just for the sake of giving you guys more time to work on yourself. And then I'm going to introduce now with this, the lacrosse ball. So instead of sitting, you're going to kneel, right? I like to start at the very tip part of this calf, or sorry, not calf, the shin. And you're going to basically let your body weight sink in, like you're like kneeling on the floor. But again, you're going to slowly distribute your weight so that it's not so jarring. And then you're going to just let it kind of sink in. Remember the breath. And it's very subtle, and some areas might feel very subtle, but notice if you're tensing like your glutes or your back. Just really allow everything to fall into place. And then once you feel like you are ready to kind of move forward, you can just slowly, very slowly roll forward. You see, it's kind of like I'm just going at an angle, like my body is just going against this ball here. And if you find yourself struggling like a spot that's like, ooh, right? Just nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale, and again, allow your body weight to sink. So maybe, again, you don't move per se right away, you just let it simmer. And then when you kind of feel a little more comfortable, then again, you can just go all the way down to the very end. So it's almost like you're balancing on this shin with that ball. And so I'm going to go all the way to the very bottom. All right. So now with the calves, we're going to start at the base. Sometimes this lacrosse ball might be too small, so it just depends on your size. If it's too small, you can always go with a larger sphere. But for now, for this example, I'm going to use this. So you're going to basically balance right in the middle. You're going to also feel this band. That's where your Achilles tendon is, right? That's where the calf inserts here. So you're going to, again, find that little spot and use the weight of your own, of your other foot to add more pressure. And again, remember, let it sink. And if, again, you need even more pressure, leaning forward will help a lot. If you're really tight, you may not be able to lean forward for the sake of your hamstrings, but that probably just means that you could potentially already have a deep enough stretch because you're that tight, that you may not, again, need to lean forward. But for those of you who are a little more flexible, you can lean forward and get a little bit more pressure. Or again, just go on a harder surface and not use the mat. But see how I'm, again, just kind of letting it concentrate on that spot. Nice deep breath. And then also I'm noticing my foot is even kind of tense, right? So I actually want to let it drop. Okay, that's really important. So and then when you scoot yourself, do not actually tense your foot that you're on, because with the tension and the pressure, it's going to actually hurt. So what you're going to do is you're going to lift yourself up with your hands and just scoot yourself forward. All right, there you go, to go into that next spot. Oh, that's a nice little spot right there. So nice deep breath and just, and then again, remember, just focus on allowing your body to be as dead weight as possible for that really deep release. Okay, and again, once you guys get to these type of like tender areas, if you want to kind of do a small, I'm telling you, really, really small, see, I'm like, you can maybe barely even tell, but I'm rolling it to the, towards the outer, so it's getting other areas of my calf, and it's really tender, but it's great. So again, these small little tiny movements, because you're so deep in these little crevices, that these small movements will make a huge difference. All right, and so again, you'll basically do the same sequence all the way up.